Hi, my name's Peter Vaughan, and many of you have already seen some of the videos that I put out there regarding numerology and the fields that I get involved in. But last night it was interesting. I've just been reading a book and it talked about dreams, and it talked about how dreams are symbols, and I understand this because I've done a lot of research on this field myself. But when a dream disturbs you at night time and you wake up, you're left with the emotion of the dream. It affects your daily activity. Well, I take that emotion and I start to think about what is it that's causing me to think this way. And this morning, I was, my think tank is my shower. I go to my shower and I love to think in there. But I started to think about it, and I came out and I asked somebody, I said, what is it about what I do that's causing challenges? And the answer came back, people are afraid of you. And that hit me, and I thought, you know, they probably are. Why would people be afraid of me? I'm not Big Brother. But what I have done is I've uncovered something. I've uncovered something so big that I think people are afraid to look at it. And to give you an idea of that, I happen to know the Southern Hemisphere. That's the Southern Hemisphere's greatest trader in the currency exchanges. And I've spent some time with this person. And one day I said to them over lunch, look, I could create this model here which does this and does this and does this, and I'd be able to see trends, you know, greater than the market trends, people who are selling stuff out there. And so I went over and explained it to them, and all I got back was, you do this and you'll put me out of work. And it was almost like, don't do it. Now, I've done a lot of this sort of stuff for people. I understand trading, but it's all based on emotion, like my dream. Now, people are afraid of what? Are they afraid of me personally? Well, they shouldn't be. Are they afraid of you? Many people probably would be. They're afraid of the law. Why are they afraid of the law? You are the employer for these people through your taxes. But no, once they've been given power, they take over and now they have control. And they'll still be paid by you because you have to comply. By the government? Well, the government supports the law and the government looks after itself. What about God? People are afraid of God? Yeah, because in every respect, you're either a God-fearing person, which means you're on the right side of God according to those people, or you simply fear God, which is what they talk about, you know, fear God, fear God. Well, so many people that I know have died for no apparent reason, but it's the will. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at things here and saying that the mind of man is so powerful, he creates anything that he wishes to create in his mind and his imagination. And right now, by me talking about an elephant, an African elephant that people have come out during a celebration, have painted the elephant with big sign on the side, a green and yellow sign, a BP sign, BP, the petroleum company. Now, whilst I was saying that, I had your mind seeing an elephant with a big BP colouring and sign on its side. I did that through imagination. This is a powerful tool. So when we're talking about people who are afraid of something, what you've got to get over and say, what is it that you're actually afraid of? Most people are afraid of what they don't know. I don't know. And when you start to say, well, what is it you don't know? Well, I don't know a lot of stuff. But what you don't know is holding you back from your success. Because everything that you need, there's your nose, there's your eye, and there's your mouth, everything you need to have to succeed in this world is up here in this brain of yours. Now, the wonderful thing about the brain, if you start to use the tool that makes the brain work so that you can follow it, we're talking about the ability to understand. Now, how do you understand? Well, you're using a tool. What tool you're using is called language. And if you don't understand that part, let me explain it to you. Why is language such a powerful tool? The reason why it's a powerful tool, because if we took language out of here, you couldn't think. You'd be left like this. I don't understand. You wouldn't even say, I don't understand, because you don't have those words. Language is gone. But we put language in here, and language now creates images or pictures in your mind, and you see things, like the BP elephant, for example. So in here, you've got this other thing that comes out of this thing called your central nervous system down here, down your spine, and this radiates all your nerve endings, which is all over your body. The biggest one is around your solar plexus area, because that's where your biggest nerve endings are. There's no nerve endings up in the brain. You can have open brain surgery and still be awake during it and not feel a thing. So if your brain holds language, and that from that language you can understand things, you won't understand something that's not in here. And this thing is just basically a big filing cabinet. So I'm just going to draw a big filing cabinet, and there's your brain contents inside those drawers. That's what you've got inside your head. You can multiply that filing cabinet and make it as big as you like. You can fill it up with energy, but the more you fill it up with, the more knowledge you'll have, the more understanding you'll have, the more imagination you'll have, and the more emotion you'll have. Emotion. Emotion drives the stock markets. Energy and motion. It's moving. Scientists have proven, and you probably are well aware, we can see so much in our colour spectrum. There are lots and lots and lots more wavelengths. That's a hard thing to understand if you have no idea about it, but it means you can't see infrared. You know, those things that sit up inside people's homes and inside office buildings that detect movement after hours and set the alarms off. But inside here, you have got information which creates your environment through your brain. But let me show you something interesting with the tool that I'm using. You understand everything through language, and language is words. And words equal pictures. So, if I write the word on here, apple, you can now see one. But if I say red apple or green apple, you can switch between those things. Words create pictures. Alright? One thing to notice. Another thing I want you to know is words are sounds. And a sound creates a word inside your head or a picture. Now, I don't have to write a word down like ant, but you heard the word ant, and you can now see an ant in your mind's eye. So why is it that words are powerful? Words create sounds. The brain takes the sound and converts it into an image, a picture. But let's look at this. B is the second letter of the alphabet. R is the 9th. Sorry, it's the 18th letter. 18. Go through the alphabet and get to R, it's 18. 1 and 8 is 9. A is the first, I is the 9th letter, hence those two have the same number. I'm just adding them up for a reason. And N happens to be the 14th letter of the alphabet, so 1 plus 4 is 5. Now, let's understand that frequency or that wavelength of that word. 2 and 9 is 11, 12 and 5 is 16, and 9 is 25. I've got that wrong. 2 and 9 is 11, 12, 21, 26. So 2 and 6 equals 8. So the word brain equals 8 as a harmonic. There are 1 to 9 of these harmonic waves that your brain works on. They go into very, very high frequencies, but they come back to, when you compress it, into 1 to 9 wave formats. Show you something. This is rather interesting. If brain equals 8, what does God equal? 7. O is the 15th letter of the alphabet, 1 and 5 is 6, and D is the 4th. 7 and 6 is 13, and 4 equals 17, which equals 8. Now that's interesting. Or 8 here, and 26, 8 here, 17, 8, 26, 8. Well, hang on. I could make that the same as that too, because if I add the number 15 instead of 6. 15 and 7 is 22 and 4 is 26. Ah, 26, 8. So in every respect, when you start to analyse people and you understand who you are, which is where most people like you have no idea, it's my job, my skill, my learning that I've done, which makes people fear me a little bit possibly, because I can look into a person's makeup and determine where they are, what they should be doing, and what the future has for you. Now, that's something I can do. But can I read your mind? No. You've heard of clairvoyance and people out there who have got the ability to look into your mind and then come out with all this stuff, and they might have a crystal ball, and they might even have a big scarf and drape stuff. You know, forget all the crap, it's garb. These people are called kinesthetics. In other words, what they have is the ability to take your feelings, your emotion coming out of your body, and they pick this up because they're feeling-based people, and it goes into their central nervous system, up into the brain, and guess what? They can feel and therefore get an idea about how you're feeling. Now these people have good days and bad days. Now I can read words because they are fixed symbols, A, B, C, D, E, E, F, etc. and 1 to 9 plus. But I can't read your feelings because they're all wavelengths all the time. So if people fear, what I can do, I'm looking at science, I'm looking at a mathematical formula that I've become very, very good at. And some people have taken my knowledge and used it to suck millions of dollars out of people around the world. People like you maybe. I work with the subject of numerology. Now numerology is the study of number. It's an ology, like psychology, physiology, that doctors use it. But when we're starting to look at this particular part here, I want to come back. Your brain holds all the information about you. I can't tap into that, but what I can do is I can do this. Is in your path in life, you're walking on it. I do know. You have a history back here. You have a future over here. Let's just say this is your life. If I could look back in time and identify events of your past, and you said, yes, this did happen, yes, this did happen, and yes, this did happen. Or I move you forward in time, and I can look back in time again from this point and say, yes, this did happen, yes, this did happen, and yes, that did happen. If I'm able to do that using a math formula, and it's right all the time, but when I say all the time, it's more accurate than most other people, like doctors' diagnoses, for example. A math formula can do this. If it's a math formula, and this is just a particular time scale from here to here, then in every respect, there's no difference in me being able to look forward in the future, in time, using the same math probe, and I can do that as well. How I've become able to do this is because I have studied over 200,000 case studies of people, of businesses, of events. I've made predictions, I've put them on the web, and they've all come to pass. How am I able to do that? And I can do it really fast. So when I know this stuff, am I to be feared? No, get over it. Here's what I can do for you. I have an ability that can help you in your life and help you where you're going, so that we can use what you've got to your best potential. And using the same math formula here, I can take you from here and say whether or not this is going to happen in your favour or against you. And if it's working against you, I can say, hey, this isn't going to work on that date. How about we circumnavigate that and show you how to get around that without having a problem? That's where magic comes in. I would suggest that you get hold of me and you start to ask some questions, or I'm looking at making up a membership of people who would like to belong to what I do, learn what I do, because you can learn to do what I've just done on the board here, but to the high end. I've already got a few students that I've trained up whom are able to read you, also like I can, maybe not to the same advantaged level. It's only because my passion has given me this information. I have a background. I was an electrician. I've been in the army. I've been an ambulance officer. I've done martial arts. I've enjoyed lots of life stuff that I do on my own as an individual. But when you start to look at who you are, you're the most important person in the world. You can be fooled by a lot of people out there who will sell and market you lies and bullshit. I don't bullshit people, and maybe that's why people are afraid of me at times. Yet I've got some people who just follow what I do. They follow it right down. They ask me all the time, can you give me a forecast? Because I provide forecasts. Have a look at my websites. This one here, www.numerology.net.nz. You're going to see the most outstanding numerology site there is on the market. It's not full of gloss and glitter and crap that's going to lead you down to pay things or pay for things so that they grab you and get the money out of you. That's all they're interested in. And it is all that we're interested in. This one here provides a lovely picture gallery. It's got lovely people on there, and you go down this gallery, and you go down this gallery, picture, until the end you get to a big vault. And that big vault door opens up, and it allows you to have some fun with people's names, and start to think, my God, this is really accurate. Have a play with that under that site. Or, go and have a look at my other site. Same again, www.petervaughan.net. One word, petervaughan.net. And when you go there, you can see and look at predictions I've made in the past. That's been up for about four or 5 years, that site. And I get tired of loading up new stuff and hoping people are going to get excited by it. What I am doing is I'm showing you how to control your life so that you have a better life. And get over the fear and get over the crap. Your life is not built by numbers, and numbers have no meaning in themselves whatsoever. So even if you fear this number, understand it's a 4. If you fear that number, understand that this number means basically group 4 things. What's group 4 things? Well, people get assassinated in here. Yeah, sure they do. People win the lottery here as well. Oh. So you mean it's good and bad? Yeah. Everything has a positive and a negative. Everything. You can't have one without the other. Now I'm thinking of putting a few more of these ones up. I meant to finish off, and I've got it filmed already, the West Memphis 3 one, which is about the 3 kids who died and the 3 people who were blamed. And look at the law, because the law did it to their advantage to attack and or to pinpoint people. The real murderers are still out there. This is your life. I've got that off my chest. I'd love to see you come back again. Remember who I am, Peter Vaughan. The real Peter Vaughan. Oops, that's an N. And the other people out there who are using my knowledge or guiding people to go to other knowledge, a lot of people who do numerology are out there selling a program by a guy called Hans Dekos. Hans Dekos is Swedish. Now, I think he's Swedish. But the man did some really good work with numerology and then sold it to the world. He sold it to the world, and everybody picked it up and says, I'm now a numerologist, because I can tell you what Hans Dekos has as his files to people. Hey, great, that's business. It's all about money for him. It's all about business. It's not about teaching numerology. No one learns numerology through Hans Dekos stuff. You've got to become a student of this thing. You want to become a student? I'll teach you. There's people in New Zealand who are using my name for their numerology aspirations. Somebody called Andrew Vaughan, never heard of him. In fact, he doesn't exist. Another guy called Mike Madigan or somebody. He doesn't exist either. But the people behind that are using my information, plagiarizing my work. Whoop-dee. Stand up, be counted. Challenge you to a stage shot sometime if you'd like to do that. And you know who I'm talking about. Real numerology is under this banner on today's world. And I'm not pushing myself as the world's best. I'm saying I'm bloody good at it. Because the people who have used me go from political fields, military fields, the everyday businessman, the everyday person. Those people who need help. My stuff is confidential. I do not release any information about other people. It's none of my business or their business for it to be displayed to the world. Don't ever fear that. I'll let you know who I am, you can see who I am, and you know where to find me. Peter Vaughan, signing out, and thanks for listening. I'll put up something else again shortly. But get hold of me, Peter Vaughan at that website.net. My email is peter@petervaughan.net. You write to that email address and tell me, Peter, you're interested in learning this stuff. Yes, it does cost you money because it's real knowledge, it's real time, it's real stuff that I teach. Come back and do that. Peter, I've got a problem. Yes, it will cost you. So these are the things that I do, and I do it for a real reason. I will not pull the wool over your eyes. Thanks very much for listening. I appreciate your time. And today is Saturday, I think the 16th day of March 2012. And no, the world does not come to an end this year. That's crap. But people are making money out of it. See you around next year as well. Looking forward to that. Bye for now, and I'm going to come up the camera and turn it off.